single dad saw mom and twins begging for food on Christmas Eve. The truth left him stunned. The snow was coming down harder than ever that Christmas Eve. The streets of Chicago shimmered under strings of golden lights. But for Daniel Miller, it felt colder than usual, inside and out. He had just finished his shift as a delivery driver, exhausted, and his 6-year-old son, Ethan, sat quietly in the passenger seat, humming Silent Night, as he gazed out the window. Daniel smiled weakly. This was their second Christmas without his wife, and despite the struggle, he wanted to make it special for Ethan. They were on their way home when Ethan suddenly pointed through the fogged-up window. "Daddy, look," he said. On the corner, just outside a grocery store, sat a young woman with 2 little girls, twins, no older than 5, bundled in worn-out coats, holding a cardboard sign that read, "Please, anything helps, Merry Christmas." Daniel's heart sank. The woman's face was pale and weary. Her eyes darted around nervously as she tried to smile at passers-by. "Can we help them, Daddy?" Ethan asked softly. Daniel hesitated. Money was tight. He had just enough saved for a small Christmas dinner and a few gifts for Ethan. But something in the woman's trembling hands and the way the twins leaned against her, shivering, hit him hard. Without another thought, he pulled over. He walked up slowly, kneeling down beside them. "Hey there," he said gently. "You folks okay?" The woman looked up, startled. Her eyes were glassy, but she managed a faint smile. "We're fine, just trying to get enough for a meal tonight." Daniel noticed the kids were holding empty paper cups. Their cheeks were red from the cold. "Come on," he said. "Get in the truck. It's freezing out here." The woman hesitated, glancing at her daughters. "I can't ask you to." "You're not asking," Daniel interrupted kindly. "It's Christmas Eve. Let me help." Ethan shifted to the back seat as the woman and her twins climbed in. Daniel turned the heat up, and for a few moments no one spoke. Then one of the twins whispered, "Mommy, it's warm." The mother's eyes welled up. They stopped at a nearby diner that was still open. Daniel ordered hot soup, sandwiches, and cocoa for everyone. As they ate, he tried to make light conversation. "I'm Daniel, and this little guy's Ethan. You?" "I'm Laura," she said quietly. "And these are Emma and Ella." Ethan grinned at the twins. "We have matching names." That made them all laugh, the first real laughter of the night. As they ate, Daniel noticed Laura's hands. Rough, cracked, the kind of hands that told stories of hard work. She explained that she had lost her job 2 months ago after her employer downsized. Her landlord had evicted them soon after, and she'd been bouncing between shelters and cheap motels trying to keep her girls fed. "I had a cleaning job," she said, eyes down. "But it ended before Christmas. I was hoping to get something at the store today, but they wouldn't take me without an address." Daniel felt a lump in his throat. He knew that kind of hopelessness, the one that eats away at your pride. "You shouldn't be out here like this," he said. "Come on, I've got space at my place. Just for tonight. You and the girls?" Laura looked stunned. I couldn't. You've already done enough." "It's no trouble," Daniel insisted. "Ethan's got more Christmas cookies than we can handle anyway." Ethan nodded eagerly. "Yeah, you can help us decorate our tree." After a long pause, Laura whispered, "Thank you." That night, Daniel gave up his bed so the girls could sleep comfortably. He found old blankets, made cocoa again, and watched as Ethan and the twins hung paper snowflakes near the window. Laura stood nearby holding a cup of cocoa, tears silently running down her face. "Thank you, Daniel," she said softly. "No one's ever done something like this for us." He shrugged, embarrassed. "We all need a hand sometimes." But something about her eyes lingered in his mind. There was gratitude, and something else. When morning came, Daniel made pancakes. The kids' laughter filled the kitchen, a sound he hadn't heard since before his wife's passing. It felt like home again. As Laura helped clear the table, she handed Daniel a small folded paper. "I want you to have this," she said. He frowned, unfolding it, and froze. It was a check. "A check for $50,000? I don't understand." Laura smiled tearfully. "You didn't know me, but I knew you." Daniel blinked. "What?" She took a deep breath. "My name is in payment," and said, "It's Christmas, we look out for each other." That stuck with me. Daniel's mouth went dry. He remembered that day, an icy morning in early December. A delivery truck had skidded near a curb, blocking traffic. Daniel had spent 2 hours helping the driver push it back and fix a leaking tire. He hadn't even known who owned the company. Laura continued, her voice trembling. I wanted to thank you back then, but you disappeared before I could. After that, I told myself if I ever met someone with that kind of kindness again, I'd never let the chance pass. But I didn't expect it to be you. Saving me this time. Daniel just stared, speechless. The twins ran into the room holding a strand of tinsel. Mommy, look. We made a snow crown. They giggled. Laura smiled through her tears, kneeling to hug them tightly. I lost more than my home these past few months, she said quietly to Daniel. I lost faith in people. Until last night. Daniel tried to hand the check back. Laura, I can't take this. I just wanted to help. She shook her head. It's not charity. It's gratitude. You reminded me what this season really means. And besides, she smiled softly, I could use someone like you at the company. How would you feel about managing our new delivery division? Daniel blinked, stunned. I don't even know what to say. Say you'll let me pay back a little of what you gave, she said. Ethan tugged at his dad's sleeve. Dad, does that mean we can buy more cookies? They both laughed, the tension breaking. Weeks passed and life changed faster than Daniel ever imagined. He accepted the job, and within a month he and Ethan moved into a small house near the Bennett's new office. Laura often visited with her girls. Emma and Ella adored Ethan, and the three became inseparable. Slowly, what began as a chance encounter turned into something much deeper. One evening in spring, as the kids played in the yard, Laura and Daniel sat on the porch, watching the sun dip below the skyline. You know, Laura said, smiling. I used to think Christmas was just about giving gifts. But that night, when you stopped to help us, it reminded me it's about giving hope. Daniel looked at her, his voice soft. Funny thing is, you gave me the same. They sat in silence for a moment, listening to the laughter of their children mingling in the evening air. No longer strangers, no longer broken souls trying to survive. Just a family, formed by compassion and chance. As the porch light flickered on, Daniel smiled. You know, Ethan still tells everyone Santa sent you. Laura chuckled. Well, maybe he did. Months later, Christmas rolled around again. The house was filled with warmth, laughter, and the smell of gingerbread. Snow drifted gently outside, and the kids huddled around the fireplace as Daniel read them a story. Laura placed a hand on his shoulder, her eyes glistening in the firelight. Hard to believe a year ago we were sitting on that cold sidewalk, she whispered. Daniel looked at her and smiled. And hard to believe I almost drove past you. She smiled back. You didn't just stop for us that night, Daniel. You changed our lives. He took her hand, squeezing it gently. Guess we both saved each other. The twins giggled as Ethan handed them each a cookie shaped like a heart. The clock struck midnight, and in the glow of the tree lights, the room shimmered with quiet joy. Not the kind bought with money, but the kind born from humanity, from faith restored, from strangers who became family. Outside, the snow fell softly, blanketing the world in white. A silent reminder that sometimes the greatest gifts arrive not wrapped in paper but in kindness. And that night, for the first time in years, Daniel whispered to himself, Merry Christmas, knowing this time it truly was.